Well, I wanted to do a quick video as an update because, boy, it has been a whirlwind couple of weeks since we were contacted by the Preparedness Project to provide some last-minute medical content for their online survival summit. Shortly after receiving the request from the guys at the Prepper Project, I was discussing this summit with our good friends at Radio Free Redoubt. John Jacob noted the same thing I did, and that was that there were no communications included in the summit curriculum. Apparently the request had gone out, but it was unanswered. We both thought that this would be a golden opportunity and a perfect forum to present and discuss the AmRRON and Channel 3 project. Well, that set me on a wild ride for sure. John Jacob and I came up with a plan to provide bonus content for the summit. Before I knew it, I was en route deep into the heart of the American Redoubt to film a docudrama covering the important aspects of AmRRON and Channel 3. John Jacob and I both felt it would be important and interesting to share on YouTube some of the clips and insight from the documentary. If this piques your interest for more, then don't forget to register for the online free Survival Summit by visiting thesurvivalsummit.com. They have a great lineup of talented instructors with awesome and interesting topics central to those wanting to be prepared.
Read you loud and clear. Do you have a daughter named Nicole? She's here with me, and she is warm and safe this afternoon, thanks to AmRRON. Roger, I'll let you say hi to her.
Hi, Dad.
Radio Free Redoubt begins in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Our world is changing right before our eyes. This didn't happen overnight. It crept in on a culture that was asleep, at best. Most were apathetic, though, distracted and entertained. This nation-destroying machine that is grinding Americanism to a pulp was conceived of long ago. There are forces that have been planning the assassination of everything the United States once stood for, and they are in the final stages of planning, and they are ready to pull the trigger. It started out gradually, but it's picking up momentum. At some point in our not-too-distant future, something's going to break. When it does, do you have a plan? Are you prepared to provide for your family, protect your community, and quickly rebuild? More Americans are waking up every day, and they're preparing. The growth in numbers of our fellow citizens who are becoming aware is exponential. Citizens who are preparing, informing others, striving toward self-reliance, and want to preserve their rich American Judeo-Christian heritage and their values after a social, economic, or political collapse. They're preparing and developing skills at an ever-increasing pace. Food storage and food production, water procurement, shelter, medical, combatives, tactics and defensive planning, land navigation, bug-out bags, retreat building, strategic relocation, and the list goes on. But there's one component in preparedness planning that is probably the most overlooked of all: communications. I'm John Jacob Schmidt from Radio Free Redoubt. We're going to introduce you to the world of communications for those of you who aren't very familiar with it. If you do have some type of communications plan for yourself, your family, or your group, we're going to show you ways to increase your capabilities and your effectiveness. We're going to introduce you to communications from the perspectives of preppers, patriots, redoubters, and partisans. First, ask yourself this question: if it all went down tomorrow, how would you stay informed? How would you stay connected? How would you pass information to others? How would you contribute to your family, your group, and your community? Don't answer yet. Just sit back and watch. This is John Jacob Schmidt. Out.
What am I gonna do? Dad.
Food. First aid. Yes. Thank goodness.
Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? Okay. Alright. Think I get it. Redoubt X-ray. This is Redoubt November Papa. Can you hear me?
This is Redoubt Hotel 77, November Papa. What can I do for you?
I'm stranded. I've been out here for hours. I'm miles away from home. I don't know what to do. My car's broken down. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm cold. I don't know what to do.
Is that you coming up right behind me?
Yes, Hotel 77, right behind you.
No, I'm not. My dad always was into the radios, and he's got so many stuff downstairs. I don't know what's what, and he always taught me about it. And thank goodness he sends me with a radio. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have done out there.
Well, that's great. He's really thinking ahead. Do you know what his call sign is? We might be able to call him on HF.
I don't know what HF is, but I know he has all the instructions on the paper he gave me in my pack.
Did he? Let's see what he put down there. Maybe we can contact him.
That'd be awesome.
This is amazing.
Amron Whiskey 7 QRZ. Amron Whiskey 7 QRZ. This is Amron operator Hotel 77. I read you loud and clear. Do you have a daughter named Nicole? She's here with me, and she is warm and safe this afternoon, thanks to Amron. Roger, I'll let you say hi to her.
Hi, Dad. Yes, I'm safe. It's okay.
When it first started, there were checkpoints and house-to-house raids, military style, but it wasn't the military or the police. They were taking people to the relief centers. I was hearing reports from all over on my CB, FRS, and ham radio. I knew I needed to get the word out. I started typing up spot reports on my laptop. I knew I needed to be ready for the next scheduled transmission time. We had those planned out before all this started.
Well, you know, we've been studying this stuff and prepping and doing all these things for a long time. But you know, when it went down, it still kind of takes you by surprise.
Well, it was a God thing that somebody was able to hear her call for distress, because she was on a very desolate portion of the highway. It was snowing. The weather was terribly cold, and you know, had nobody heard her, it could have been days before anybody discovered her.
I don't know where we'd be without communication. So many people, if I only would have known, we've seen it coming for years.
I'm an everyday average person. I'm a single mom who was very concerned because I saw things coming down the pipeline. I saw things coming, things that added up to trouble for me, especially being a single mother, knowing that I was responsible for not only myself but for my daughter.
Well, you know, it's been several years now, but oddly enough, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was out of town on business when the crunch happened. While monitoring channel 9 and 19 on my CB radio, I could hear the chatter.
Well, I was driving home from visiting my parents, or on my way back to college, and you know, I was about 200 miles out, and my car broke down. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was wrong with it. You know, I popped the hood to pretend like I knew what I was doing, but I had no idea what was going on. And all of a sudden, I I was frustrated. I was about ready to cry. I was cold. I'd been sitting there for 2 hours not knowing what to do, and suddenly I remembered my dad had everything in there with me. You know, if I had happened to break down 200 miles further, who knows who would have answered the radio call sign. Being able to talk to my dad over a radio kind of really gave me a security blanket. It made me feel connected to my family even though I was miles away from them. An AmRRON operator is a friend you've never met. I think a lot has changed. I think that my mindset is different. I want to see this country restored. I want to see it change, and I'm willing to die for that, and so this never happens again.
Well, folks can learn more about the CH3 AmRRON Tapern and Radio Free Redoubt broadcasting station program, nets, how to join a net that's already ongoing in your area, and if there isn't one, how to start one. We have information over there at radiofreeredoubt.com and amron.com that has the net scripts, messaging formats, spot reports, and a lot more. This is John Jacob Schmidt, out.